Welcome to the Further Maths Induction presentation. My name is Peter Gadd and I'm course leader for Further Maths at the Sixth Form College. Hopefully you're looking at this because you're interested in taking Further Maths at the college. These slides are intended to give you the information that you'll need to make that decision. So why take Further Maths? I think the best reason is because you really enjoy maths and you're good at it, but there are some other reasons below too. Below the link that you clicked on to watch this presentation, there's a link to a professionally produced video which talks about the advantages of taking Further Maths. There are students and staff talking about the subject. There's a couple of things raised in the video which I need to make a couple of notes about though, relating to how we deliver Further Maths at college. Those are just below. You're probably wondering how Further Maths is taught at the Sixth Form College. If things are back to normal in September, then you'll get 8 70-minute lessons each week. The lessons will probably be fairly similar to the kinds of things that you're used to having at school in maths lessons. So there'll be teachers explaining things, there'll be worked examples, there'll be exercises, and plenty of opportunities for you to ask questions and discuss among yourselves as well. If things aren't back to normal in September, then I guess we'll be doing a mixture of teaching in class and also some remote learning as well, perhaps using Microsoft Teams. In the first half of the year, you cover the same work as the single mathematicians cover over the whole year. There's 3 areas that you cover. There's pure maths, which is 2/3 of the course, and that's a continuation of the kinds of things you did at GCSE, like quadratics, trigonometry, graphs, Pythagoras, that kind of thing. It should all look fairly recognisable. The A-level course does kind of meet you where you're at, so you shouldn't find that it feels like there's a gap between what you did at school and what you start doing when you come to college. So that's the pure side. Then statistics, that again should continue with some of the things you did at GCSE maths. So things like presenting data, using things like histograms. You probably did pie charts and that kind of thing as well. Also analysing data, so things like means, medians, maybe standard deviation, you might have done that. And then there's some work on probability too. The other area of maths, which might seem a little curious, being in maths rather than in physics, and that's things that like travel graphs and collisions and Newton's laws of motion. You might well have met some of those things as part of your GCSE physics or the physics part of your GCSE science. You don't have to do A-level physics in any way to do A-level maths. What's really good though is if you do physics, then having studied that work in maths too usually really helps your physics. In the second half of the year, you cover the AS Further Maths material. Again, it's those 3 topic areas: pure maths, mechanics and statistics. This time though, the time and the weighting of the exams is evenly split between those 3 areas. I've put some of the names of some of the topics you'll be covering so that if you want to look them up to see what's involved, you can do. Sometimes students coming to college worry about whether Further Maths is going to be too difficult. If your teacher at GCSE thought you were online for a grade 8 or 9, then you should be fine. It's worth saying that Further Maths isn't all harder maths. To some extent it's more maths, so you study a broader range of topics. In the second year, some of the topics are more demanding, but less so in the first year. I know you didn't have the chance to take GCSEs in May, but you'll be awarded GCSE grades in August in the same way as students have been in previous years. The entry criterion for AS Further Maths is that you get a grade 8 or 9 for GCSE Maths. You'll probably want to feel confident with your GCSE Maths when you start the AS Further Maths course, so it's a good idea to do some revision before you start. There are lots of resources around, but below the link to this presentation, there's a link to a course on YouTube called Hegarty Maths, which is designed to help you prepare, so that's a resource you could use too. One of the advantages of taking AS Further Maths exams at the end of your first year is you get a formal qualification then. Further Maths is always taken as a fourth subject in your first year, so it means that you can actually drop Further Maths at that point if your priorities have changed and still have something to show for your first year's work. The Maths department are keen for as many students as possible to complete a full A-level in Further Maths, but as I mentioned on the last slide, you do have the option at the beginning of year 13 to concentrate on single maths and 2 other A-levels. A group of students in the past who've sometimes decided to do that have been students who want to study medicine, who think, well, I really need to get 3A stars to have a good chance of getting onto a medicine course, and so they focus on maths, biology and chemistry and drop the further maths at that point. You'll probably need to get a new calculator when you start A-level maths because most GCSE calculators don't have some of the functions that you'll need on them. If you want to get a graphic calculator, then I would suggest waiting until you come to college because we can often get a discount on those.